wait.
Yes.
Hold on.
Well,
Who's this? Is this you? Okay.
I would find out, or she kept sending me messages.
All right, I think we are good on this.
Live?
We are good to go.
Best as I know.
We don't need it.
Don't need to see ourselves.
We can just turn the TV off, right?
Ready? Really? Okay, here we go. Okay, we'll call to order the New Harmony Town Council for February 18th, 2025 meeting. Everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please. Madam Clerk.
Jeff Smotherman.
Here.
Laura Arnberg.
Here.
Connie Wines-Apple.
Here.
Tom Williams.
Here.
Do I say Rod's name and he doesn't answer? Rod Clark.
Mr. Clark is absent. Okay. All righty. First off, we have the approval of the minutes of the 1/21/2025 regular meeting. Everybody have a chance to look at those? Have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Have a motion for approval, second?
Second.
All right, all in favor? Or discussion, I'm sorry, first. Any discussion, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed. All righty. Next, we have the report of department heads from council. You want to start, Laura?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I was just writing a note, sorry.
I'm sorry, sorry.
No, I just would finish typing before I forget. I think this is mostly what I said last meeting, but I'll just reiterate. We did receive the money for the county Wi-Fi, from the county for the Wi-Fi infrastructure downtown. So we'll be working with One New Harmony on getting the Wi-Fi up there. So we're going to be putting higher capacity routers through most of the businesses on those two main blocks downtown to help during events especially. But with vendors on the streets and just for communication in general during our big events. I am starting to work with a couple different members of council also on our website. The state has a lot of new security requirements and we're looking at switching to a new system, which eventually will allow us to take payments online. That will be a whole separate process at a later date, but first we have to switch to the new platform. So we're working on research for that, and Connie and I did some calls with a couple companies to look into that, and Ann's been doing some research, so we're working on that. I did get met up with somebody from the Posey County Community Foundation. The Women's Grant deadline is the beginning of March, which is short now, but if anyone has a smaller project, I think their grants are typically under a couple $1,000s, so these aren't big projects, but I was thinking about for Playtopia for the spindles. I just got an email from her yesterday if we still need more money for that, but their grants are open, application process for a few more days. And then the big thing we're waiting on right now is the financial plan from Baker Tilly to help us identify sustainable spending levels for a 5-year plan. And then once we have that and we have the comp plan with all the identified projects that we want to do, we can put those two things together and start doing some fun things. So we're on hold until the planning documents are ready.
Yeah, thank you. I guess I could go next here. Stay in line. Okay, first off, let's see here. There was some letters. I don't know if you went to the bean supper with the fire department. They had some notifications on everybody's table that night about House Bill 1233, which is titled as a threat to Indiana's volunteer fire service. It also dealt with elimination of townships and towns under 1,000 if you weren't meeting the payment and income and payments out standard or threshold that they set forth. But anyway, I called today our House Representative Wendy McNamara, and that's dead. That House bill that they proposed is dead. Never made it out of committee, so never was voted on out of committee. So it's dead for 2025. I was informed by Jim Scarfia too. He's our trustee, our township trustee, and he said that pretty much comes up every year, something very similar to it. So something they try to get through or something. So anyway, I wanted to report on that. Connie and I had talked about that a little bit. Also, we have an employee that's gonna drop off, one of our town employees gonna drop off our insurance enrollment, and then I've been working on that. And we're gonna pay him a direct payment to pay for his personal insurance, private insurance, Medicare and stuff, which would actually be about a savings of roughly, I don't know, $1,300 for the town for him to do that. So we're gonna pay for the supplement and the Medicare on that and the drug card. And I have some numbers on that if anybody needs to see that. That's just a personnel issue that we had. And let's see, I had a report of EMT roof leak. We got, the guys are checking on and when they have to get something done there, down at the fire department. Just something in kind of a wish list, talked about with the fire department, some concrete, extensions down there, and asphalt or some things like that. So that's something in the future we may all be thinking about and talking about, to help that facility out. Really nothing from our town marshal tonight. And we have, well, I guess that's on the agenda though. So, okay, that's all for me, I think.
I think all my stuff is on the agenda, so.
Okay, all right, Tom?
Well, there is a fairly large tree that fell over in the cemetery. Our guys are gonna be able to take care of it, but they can't get to it till the weather gets better and it's less soft over there. And they still haven't got to the Cypress Ranch up above. Same thing, weather, safety, but they're gonna be able to do it. As far as the Parks Board goes, we had a meeting last week. It was a good meeting. And due to the town's maintenance and replenishing of our tree canopy, and our tree board president, Jeannie Maudlin's diligent efforts in application, our town has once again been approved by the National Arbor Day Foundation. We had been okayed by the state as the process goes, and now we are once again a tree city. Thank you, Jeannie.
Congratulations.
Mhm.
Good deal. Is that it?
That's it.
I did have just one little report. I guess we had a driver get on our trails down past the Athenaeum, I think Saturday night, and got stuck in the mud got off the road. The young couple. So
In a golf cart?
no, in a pickup truck. So yeah, so they had to get a truck to come pull them out. So we've got all the info. They're going to do the repairs or whatever created down there. So I don't know if you know. It didn't look too bad from what I saw. So just in case you were wondering who made the ruts down there. Okay, let's see. We're at open forum. Anybody, anything they'd like to speak on to the council or address the council or just to make a public notification? This is our time. So, anyone? You ladies in the back there? You want to introduce yourselves or anything? You're just here for the
I
fun?
think we're on the agenda, Relay for Life.
Oh,
I think we're on there, but we can speak anyway.
if you want, I don't have it on our agenda.
Oh, I thought I
Oh,
saw
do
it.
you?
Added it
When I
in.
walked in,
You may
it
have
said
an
it
old one.
down
I
there.
must have an old one.
Yeah,
I
I added it
apologize.
in
I
under
apologize.
Heritage
Well, we
Day.
can
No, it's okay.
we can deal with it on the agenda if you want to stay.
Oh, it
Yeah.
don't matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can do it first even if y'all want. I do have an old one, obviously.
That's the only thing.
Y'all
that
may have to
changed.
correct
We're
me.
good
Okay.
to do. We were.
No.
I thought you were. I
The
thought,
other day late.
yeah, that's okay. I thought that's who you were, but I wasn't sure. Okay, anybody else on open forum? I'm
Last time
sorry.
it was really crowded, so we.
Yeah.
We better sit here in case it filled
It's
up.
because that guy in the back had a big controversial issue. that he put out. I'm just kidding, man. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Is that the latest and
Yeah, I
greatest?
just got out of my box tonight.
I have to have big writing on mine too, so I can see, but that's okay. Okay, anybody else for open forum, anything? Okay, we'll close the open forum then. Thank you. We'll get to you on the agenda here. Okay, next up we had event permit fees for nonprofits. And you gave me that. What did I do with that? Sorry, y'all.
There you go, that's it.
This will be the second reading for ordinance 512-110 permit fees, and this is just a subsection of the entire ordinance, but we make an amendment to it, and I'll read the entire part on permit fees. This is for event permits and applications, thing like maybe like you guys are looking to approve tonight, but the 512-110 permit fees, there's hereby imposed a fee of $50 upon any person or organization requesting or obtaining a special event permit, excluding, this is the amended part, excluding not-for-profit organizations based in Posey County. Eligible not-for-profits remain responsible for completing the application process. These fees shall be paid when the completed special event permit application is filed with the clerk treasurer. So we need to, do I have a motion for approval of the amendment to the event permit fees, 512-110? And
So moved.
Have a motion, have a second?
Second.
Have a second. Any discussion? This is the second reading. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you very much. That will affect you guys on your permit here, so that's a good thing. Okay, got that. Thank you, Ann, for that. All right, next up we have flood training certification travel requests, and this is for Tom Stahl. You want to elaborate on it any, or just what the request is?
Yeah, so as an added bonus to being the zoning administrator, our zoning administrator has to be certified with the State of Indiana Department of Natural Resources to understand the floodway and how that impacts, particularly for the zoning administrator, building in New Harmony. So there is annual special training that he must go to be certified. So that is going to take place in March.
Yes, that's in Indianapolis, March 18th, from 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. And he will be certified floodplain manager for New Harmony, for the town of New Harmony, which is, in his comments to me, it said, which would allow our residents to pay the lowest insurance possible as far as floodplain insurance and stuff. So I guess his knowledge helps him to bring that price down for us, as long as we know what he's doing.
Well,
right?
he's certified.
Exactly,
He is certified.
exactly.
So.
Okay, so I need a motion to approve the travel request and fees for food, travel, and lodging for Tom Stahl for certification training for floodplains.
I'll make that motion.
Have a motion, a second?
Second.
A second. Any questions, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, he can go. Okay, second, we have clerk treasurer and training and travel request for her. You want to elaborate a little bit on yours?
Yeah, it's an organization in the States called the ILMCT. The event is going to happen at Ball State. It's March 16th through the 20th. So I'm looking for approval to attend that and food, gas, and hotel for that. It's going to have some topics like State Board of Account audit, FMLA, public meetings, capital assets, budgeting, Gateway, which is the form that we enter everything that we have to into the state of Indiana, goes through Gateway, and taxes.
Okay, good deal. Okay, we have a motion to send our clerk treasurer to Ball State for training March 16th through the 18th with travel expenses, food, and lodging.
So moved.
Have a motion, second?
Second.
Motion and second, any discussion or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All righty.
Thanks.
You could maybe drop Tom Stahl off on your way up through there. Okay, next I have a quote that I've been working on. I sent it to you guys. Hopefully you've had a chance to look at it for the fire department, or the fire building, fire and EMS down there for, we're gonna work on the floors. When I first came on the board, I got with the group down there and they gave me a list full paper of this and these floors and some upgrades down there were on those lists for a little over a year now, and hopefully we can work through this. I've gotten a quote from Greer's Flooring, who's Bill Loveridge, who's a former firefighter of ours that lives here in town in the business that he's in. Bill said he's not in this quote, he's not making any money on this on us, so he's working with us to keep the cost down. If you wanted to look over it, it's for, on the EMS side, it's to redo the carpet in their bedrooms. There's 2 bedrooms there. And then in their living area, kitchen, hall, it's to put down some of the vinyl tile there, and the industrial type vinyl tile in there. There's a lot of water and wear just from mopping. They're required to mop every day and stuff in there. So it's really taking a toll on the current floor and stuff there. So that's part over there. That all includes like the floor molding, glue, and all of that kind of stuff for those two spaces over there. And on the fire department side, we're replacing the carpet in the office for the fire department, and gonna have a cleaning, stripping, cleaning, waxing of their floor and their main area there. We're not gonna put any vinyl tile because it's not been washed and, mopped and wet as often. It's in pretty good shape, just needs a really good cleaning and waxing and stripping and stuff. So we have a number here from, for material services of 9405, from Greer Flooring, and that's for material. We picked out the vinyl tile type. The fire department and the EMS are gonna pick out their colors still on that, so, and the carpet colors, looks like it's gonna be probably a gray of some kind, so, something along those lines, but, I think it's something that needs to be done. This is my proposal, so do I have a motion on?
I'll make that motion.
Have a motion for approval for the upgrades for the fire department. A second?
Second.
Any questions or discussions about the bid? I will say this, I had originally scratched the stripping, waxing, and polishing of the floor over there because I thought it was a little high on the quote. Thought we could do better, but I talked with Chris Risved, who did the floor the last time he did the stripping, waxing, cleaning. He's not able to do it now, but he said that's pretty much in line with what he would have charged to do it. So I kept it on the proposal. So, all right, any other questions on that or anything? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay, thank you all. I'm sure they will be very appreciative of that. Okay, next up we have
Did you?
the tree pruning removal quote from Tom. You have that quote, Tom?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Mostly in my phone. I didn't print them out for you guys. Last week I went around with American Eagle, their appraiser, and also Santos Tree Service. And I think we've got a total of 13 trees we're addressing. Only 5 of them, I think, are actual removals. The rest are trim outs. Anyway, both of them seemed competent and interested. I was more impressed with American Eagle. As far as the thoroughness, it took us longer to go around. There were more questions and back and forth about what he thought about it. But the quotes were very close. American Eagles was $335 under Santos. And honestly, I was going to advocate for them anyway to do this particular job because of the large tree trimming involved. They're more equipped to do it, I think. I've done this now a few times, so I'm getting used to it. So I'm proposing that this year's, so far, tree trimming and removal budget. And these are street trees. These are right-of-way trees that homeowners or citizens have filled out forms at town hall for us to go look at. And we've taken our town arborist beforehand around to assess them for us. Connie and I have both talked to Tom Guggenheim, the arborist, about it, you know.
And he fills out forms assessing each of these trees, so we have that.
Yeah, we have
on
that
file.
in file, and so I'm pretty confident that this is the right thing to do going forward. I hate removing trees, but it's a safety for the citizens and liability for the town, you know. So I'm proposing we accept American Eagle's quote of 13,000 even. And
How much was it?
13,000.
Thank you.
And you said they come in under the other,
By
about
$300,
they were a
yeah.
little-
Yeah, $335 under.
Okay.
And can you, well, the trees are on South Street, one on East Street,
Steam Mill,
Steam Mill,
and then
North.
North Street by the Roofless Church across from Carol's Garden. Yeah.
Right. There are 3 on Steam Mill. Is that right?
Yes, well, no, there's 1 removed and 3 to be trimmed.
Trimmed, yeah.
One of them come down on the house on East Street, right? This
Yeah,
year?
Well,
east
that
and
was
south.
Partially or something?
That was on his property.
Oh, okay.
But there are a bunch of them there, and
It's,
that's gonna be,
It alerted his,
Insurance.
yeah, totally. I mean, we're removing 4 of his trees that have been deemed
yeah.
unsavable, and we're trimming 1 of his.
But those are all street trees, our trees.
These
Those
are
our trees,
all
yeah,
street
they're
trees,
our trees. It's
all of
all
them.
street trees.
Gotcha.
So, and I wanna add to that, you know, we've been doing this for a year now, and we do have a system now, and I would say to just kind of maybe, and when people come in the office to fill out a form, tell them it'll be 6 months. I think we can do this twice a year. Now, if there's an emergency, that's different, but we get a much better price when we have a bunch of them, because you know, they bring their big equipment down and,
Yeah, this was a better price than we thought we were gonna get. And I think part of it is that they're bunched. You know,
Yeah.
we have 3 bunches of trees to address mostly, you know,
Yeah.
so that makes a big difference, you know. They can bring their equipment and work in one area and
It's important that the public know the process of coming into town hall and filling out one of the forms on the trees, for sure. If you
right,
have tree
and
problems.
don't expect it right away, that it
Yeah,
could be,
yes.
it could be up to 6 months after you come in and fill out your form.
Unless
Well-
it's an emergency, like you said.
And we,
Right.
according, you know, to the arborists, we may not do what the homeowner or complaintee wants. You know, 2 of the trees that people wanted removed were just trimming because our arborist said, no, we can trim those this way and they'll have some more life. So we are trying to preserve as many of our trees for our canopy as possible.
And we are starting to think about replacing street trees too. We've come up with a list, so here in the next couple of months, I think we'll choose a few areas where we'll start to plant some.
Okay, we have a proposal of accepting American Eagle for $13,000 for tree removal and tree pruning on street trees. As soon as available, I guess, as soon as weather permits.
Right.
Okay, have a motion?
I'd like to make that motion.
Have a motion, a second?
I'll second it.
Second, any other discussion? Had one thing. Are we legally liable for our street trees if they fall on a house to repair the house and things like that? Just out of curiosity.
That's a question that I'd have to look at.
Yeah.
My first impulse is to say, if we looked at a tree and it's deemed
They
that
ask
it
you.
need to come down, that's different than, you know, if a storm hits it or something.
Okay, so like if they ask and we thought it was okay just to prune it and it fell on their house, we might be more liable.
Well, that
way.
is one reason we have a certified arborist fill out a form for every tree.
Help with the legal side.
Well, and I mean, it's not just
Expertise.
me going up and saying,
Sure,
yeah, that looks
sure.
fine.
That's
Or,
great.
no, we're gonna cut that tree down tomorrow.
That's great.
You know,
That's
so,
great. That's great. I'm glad that's what we have going. All right, any other questions? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Thank you, Tom, for that. Got that going. Okay, let's see. Next, we have your quote, Ann, for the town hall flooring and paint and,
Do you want to
Stuff.
hold off on that?
well, we can discuss a little bit, just so that the public knows what we're doing. Ann has gotten quotes for us to do some remodel for the entire building here, and we've already done a little remodel in the restroom back there that needed it desperately. There are discussions of how far we might want to go even further with this building, add on or just things we're talking about. So we don't want to get ahead of ourselves maybe and on that till we have a little more time to figure out what we do. Our town marshal would like to have a bigger space and they would like to have more room in here. And we probably need more room in here sometimes when there's controversial issues going on that we're involved with, or exciting issues, either one, right? For
Well,
sure.
and it could, this could be more of a meeting room too, if
Yeah,
it was.
For
you know,
public, yeah, too. A
So,
lot going on, but I appreciate you getting those quotes and I think she's already shared them with all of us, but we keep considering that but we do need to kind of get together at some point and do some planning. I know with the economic development stuff too, of what we have an idea of ourselves, what we might like
and
to
what are
do.
the needs? What are
What
the future
and
needs
other
for this facility?
Other buildings we have, yes, and stuff like that, so, just so, but thank you for getting that, and we're not ignoring your request,
No,
for
it's-
sure. It needs updating, I think it's been a few years, you can tell
we
by the
all-
wallpaper.
We all agree
maybe.
with that, yeah.
Okay, good deal. Okay, thank you, Ann. All right, next we have the, I get lost here. where I'm at.
Municipal code
Yes, thank you.
codification
That's you,
approval.
Connie.
That is I.
Okay,
So I look back in my notes that I've taken for the last year, it was actually exactly 1 year ago.
well,
We started this process. And I have worked with Nathan Maudlin, our attorney, on this. Rudd Clark has been involved, and it's complex. It's complex. So I asked Nathan, we sat together and went through all of the recommendations. I will make 2 general comments, and then he will talk about the specifics that the council needs to approve or not approve tonight, so we can go forward with publishing. I will say that it's going to be much easier for people to understand this code. The way the chapters are laid out, the things are together in chapters now, it's just gonna be a lot easier for people to understand. Going down the road, as we keep making amendments and we keep changing things, they have set it up to where it's not going to be horribly expensive every time we stick something in the middle of the code. The way they've created the pagination is gonna be okay. If we can go through our list and approve this tonight, they will publish our books for us. We'll get 10 copies of the big book. But the most exciting thing is they will prepare it for us to put it online so that it can be digital and accessible to the public. Because this is not really conceptually changing pieces of the code yet, what I want to do is put it up there and give the public, like, say, a month or some amount of time to make comments about the code. We all know, those of us who work with the code a lot know that there are things that need to change. There's just no question about it, particularly in the land use sections. So that's kind of what I see happening. So within just a few months, we're going to be starting on looking at the code, taking public suggestions and going forward. So I would like to ask Nathan to talk about the specifics of what we are asking the council to approve tonight.
Okay, I think the council's going to be asked to do 2 things. One is to approve American Legal Publishing to become our reporter for our municipal code. The second thing is the council will have to act on one particular ordinance that has been revised in the new code that the council hasn't yet adopted. And I think we should address that first. You might remember when when the council was working on the street vendor ordinance, the council, the current code provides that a street vendor's hours of operation are from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And the council needs to, but what's in the new code is that 10-2 restriction's not there. It says that the vendor, hours of operation would be what the vendor put on his or her application. So that would constitute an amendment to the ordinance that the council needs to discuss. Does that make sense?
We didn't make that change already? When we-
Well,
The code currently says
2 to 4.
10 to
10 to
2.
2.
right,
Okay.
and I think it was my mistake,
Oh.
because we were trying to figure out how to make that code so it was much more flexible.
Right.
And it ended up going in the code as still 10 to 2.
Okay.
And at that time, my recollection is we all agreed that we don't need that. We want them to follow what they say that we will be approving.
Yeah.
Because that was within the last year, I took it upon myself to change it. And our attorney said, no, we'll have to take that to the council. So,
Keep
So
you
we'll
at
be
bay.
going-
yeah.
We'll be
yeah.
going on the individual application basis, and
Yes.
Yeah.
they will have to get our approval
Yes.
each time. So
Yes, yes.
there's no risk, really. I mean, we're just being a little more lenient, and we want to make
Yeah, I
the
think we're
choice as
trying to
we
be more
see it.
flexible than we
Yeah,
were
more flexible,
tighten
right.
up on it. Yeah.
What I think that you would be looking for, Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
is a motion to adopt the change in the ordinance 110.40,
10.40.
so that the board's or the council's wishes are confirmed by what's going to be in the new code.
Okay. I got you, I think.
Mhm.
Okay. I'd like to have a motion to reflect the confirmation that the town council would like to see in the code 110-.40 to negate the 10 to 2 reference of timing of the hours of food trucks or food vendors.
Yes.
And confirm it back to what we had leniently wanted it to be, till Connie changed. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Is that good enough?
Yes.
Okay, I don't have to repeat that, do I? No. Okay, we have a motion.
Can I make that motion
Sure.
since I'm the one? Okay, I'm making it.
We have a motion, and we have a second.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Good deal. Thank you.
Now, the
Counselor.
second part is there's some minor things that have been corrected in the new code that I want to point out to you before you decide whether to adopt it. For example, in the old code, there's, in the appendix, there's the cable TV contract proposal. And for what it's worth, my first assignment when I became town attorney many years ago, when Bill Cox was president, the town used to contract with the then cable TV company to use the light poles to run the cable. And we thought we'd have this great idea of the contract was up, we'll let them use them again for free if they use the new fiber cable. And the cable company said, nah, we'll just forget the whole thing. So we said, no, keep it. But anyway, that cable TV ordinance was never adopted. So therefore, it's not included
Okay.
in the new code. Also in the new code, they have made a good idea, I think. They add an editor's note in italics after each ordinance that gives the history of the ordinance and when it was amended, so that a reader will be able to see the difference between the ordinance and the history of the ordinance.
Good.
That's a good idea. The second changes is that all references will be to town council. Because in the old ordinance, it'd be town board of trustees, the town board, but everything will now be referred to as town council and clerk treasurer and Department of Parks and Recreation. It'll be consistent throughout the code.
Okay.
They've changed a couple of statutory sites. If you read an ordinance and then it says the statutory site from the state of Indiana that gives the town permission to do that. sometimes the state changes those. So for example, they changed the statutory reference that we have to charge a fee for a police report. And so they just changed the statutory reference. Now, they removed another statutory site that had been repealed, but it has to do with the town assessing fees for certain things. And I believe that the town has the authority to assess a fee for return checks. There was a statutory provision that allowed the town to do that. If that's gone, it's my opinion, the town has the authority to charge a return check fee. So there's no statutory site or Indiana Administrative Code site. They made a couple of corrections to spelling. There was a reference to property shredded garbage. It should have been properly shredded garbage. And they corrected some statutory sites for our fair housing ordinances, just to make them be consistent with the current state statutes. That's it.
So we need to approve their changes?
What you would
to our
want,
code?
if the council so chooses,
Okay,
you would adopt a motion to make American Legal Publishing the official reporter of the New Harmony Municipal Code.
all right. Do I have a motion to adopt American Legal Publishing as the establisher, reporter of our New Harmony Municipal Code? Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion,
Have a motion?
yes.
Do I have a second?
Oh, second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion with Nathan or any
Sure,
questions?
Is this something there will be an ongoing cost to,
Updating it, yes.
Yes,
and do we know what that is?
it's $22 a page.
$22 a page? And what are we looking at though?
It depends on how many ordinances the council
You
generates
create.
in a year.
Or eliminate?
So
And
it's just
that
going
is-
forward $22 a page as we create ordinances, is that what you're
Yeah.
saying?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, okay, well,
Well,
it
we
sounds
are,
like a review of all our past ordinances, and wow, what is that costing us?
that is costing $6,700 for the whole process.
Right.
And we
then
get
going
10
forward,
copies,
it's-
paper copies.
okay.
Now, going forward, it's $22 a page
Right.
for every change that we make. And I can't remember off the top of my head, I think it's $500 a year for them to host the digital and to update the digital. And that was part of this whole deal when we started.
Approved early
We'd
last year.
approved that last February,
Yeah.
actually.
Right, yeah,
And this
right,
is something
right.
that's kind of been ongoing every year,
Right.
right? Or supposed to be the updates
yeah.
of the codified
All of
code.
the-
And we've been
yes,
paying for that every
Yes,
year.
all of
so.
the amendments are sent by the clerk treasurer every year so that they become part of the permanent record
Right.
of our laws.
So who handled this before? I know this is the first time we're going.
A company called
Municipal
Municipal.
Unico. And now that that company was purchased by Civic Plus. And you've heard that, that company, which is they also do websites, they do lots of things. And we did some comparison of who uses Civic Plus, who uses American Legal. And last year, we decided that it would be better going forward to use American Legal because that's all they do. This is all they do.
I remember talking about that now that
Yeah,
you say that.
yeah.
I just wanted to refresh my memory
Yeah.
on what we're actually talking about financially with this decision, that's all.
And I will point out that no matter who is handling our website, you will always go to American Legal Publishing site to look at our code. And I will tell you, even the copy that Nathan and I got, you're able to search. You're able to put search terms in there, and it will bring up the citations having to do with, and that's a big deal.
And when would that be ready for the public? Do you have any idea on that date, kind of, or
Um,
close or anything?
By the end of the month, if we approve this tonight, I will type to them, and they're ready to publish. So, it'll be middle of March probably.
Huge asset to have that public.
Yeah, and we'll have a process then in place, because we have a few, but not a ton of ordinance changes, like we'd have to do the salary at least once or twice a year, something like that. So
Right.
we'll hold them or send them to them. They'll make it digitally immediately, but probably not in the paper copies, or we're gonna do it once every 6 months or a year, or.
Generally, it has been done once a year. At the end, I think we ought to figure out, okay, I don't care how many times we do it, but
Big cost.
it's gonna cost no matter when we do it.
Yeah.
So maybe we just do it in January. We put all the previous year, we send them all the previous year.
Any that we made. Okay.
Mhm,
All of
mhm.
these changes will have come before us and to the public beforehand, right? I just want to make sure everyone knows that.
Sure, it's
Oh,
all, it's
yeah.
all things we've
It
changed
can
in
only
the
be
ordinances.
things that the town council has approved.
Yeah, right.
All right, we have a motion and a second.
If I may.
Oh, please.
The town's required to have a reporter of its ordinances. And so you're just switching companies.
Right.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Thank you very much for your hard work, both of you guys. I know-
Thank you.
I know it was not fun. All righty, next we have the Heritage Days. I have a letter here from Historic New Harmony, dated January 30th, to the New Harmony Town Board. Dear members of the board, Historic New Harmony is sponsoring the annual Heritage Artisan Days program, Wednesday, April 23rd, Thursday, April 24th, and Friday, April 25th. This is an event that is attended by thousands of tri-state students. In order to ensure their safety, we're requesting that North Street between West and Arthur Streets be closed from 8 a.m. until 3 p.m., Wednesday 4/23 through Friday 4/25. We also request the presence of the town marshal to assist with traffic control from 7:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. each of these mornings. Please contact me and sign Diane Sanders in regards to these questions, if we have any questions. Ms. Sanders is here tonight. Thank you. It's something we do every year, basically. I have sent out notification to our town marshal and the deputy town marshal, who responded back with a thumbs up on the coverage for that stuff. So I have a motion to approve the request for the closures of the streets for Heritage Days and the police officers serving as traffic control those mornings, or safety control. Got a motion, you got a second?
Second.
Any discussion, any questions? Diane, do you want to add anything to this?
We're just looking forward to having lots of kids here.
A lot of
It's
fun.
gonna be the same time as paint out, so it's gonna be a little bit crazy here in town,
Yeah.
but we're working with them to have a good event for both the students and the painters.
We like it crazy here. All right, any other questions of us or Diane, of each other? Anybody? Everybody good? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Sanders. Okay, now we have a relay for life here. We can get you girls in here.
It's interesting to listen to you all.
I bet.
We're learning a lot in here.
I don't have anything in front of me, so if you want to give us the dates and fill us in kind of on what you're requesting
Well,
here.
that's what we wanted to ask, and we want to thank you for allowing us in the last several years to have our relay. And we even have had more people involved through community because we had it at Murphy Park. So we thank you so much for allowing us. Our request this year is in August again, and August 16th, which is a Saturday, to see if we can use Murphy Park again. And also, we had our 5K walk run last year, and that went wonderful. Judy and Julie, and I'm a Judy, but,
And you were BL.
I was there,
You
I was
were
there,
awesome.
I was there.
Appreciated that.
so nice, yes. So we would like to have that again, if you would allow us to.
Okay,
We'll
so,
do the same thing starting in the morning. Now, this year, we're gonna cut back our hours on the relay and not have it so late at night. We wanna start it in the morning early. And we would,
5K.
the 5K to run.
7 o'clock registration.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
7 o'clock registration.
and 8 o'clock walk or
Yeah.
run,
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, and that's where, remember, it went through town a little bit,
Yes,
and then they all
That
came
out on
back
the river.
to the park, went out. And we can send you another route.
yeah, I
It's
mean,
the same one we did.
okay,
We won't
okay.
change that.
It might be good if we just have it official,
Send it
something
in.
from you guys, you know,
Sure,
yeah,
sure.
not a problem, though.
And so,
it was
'cause
pretty
I can
simple.
I think we emailed, well, Ann was the one, but we can send
Carla.
it to Ann.
Yes,
And, isn't that right? Yep.
yes.
And then, so we're gonna do that and we're gonna actually end pretty close to like 3 or 4 in the afternoon, where we did it way late at night. And, I think we're gonna try to shorten a little bit to get everybody to come during that time period. And, then have everything cleaned up and out of there and then my husband and I will come back the next day just to make sure we didn't miss anything. But you guys were wonderful and everybody was very kind about it. The only thing that we were wondering, they always let us set it up as far as our banners and everything on Friday like at 5 o'clock, I think we came and put our banners up and our signs. Would that still be allowed, do you think? On that Friday evening at the park? I mean,
Park.
will that-
You need,
People still drove around, but then,
it's okay.
Yeah, sure,
if that's okay?
sure, yeah.
So
Okay.
we'll just put the event as starting for your use at 4 or whatever time you wanna put it, Friday, the
Okay.
Friday, or?
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna ask Ann, if I needed to fill something out, so she would
Yeah.
have that. I
Need to
can
get
come
her an
in
event permit.
And
I'll
do
get-
that. I can come one day and get that if you would like.
Well, I can get it for you right now.
Yeah,
okay,
take it with
okay.
you, yeah, you can
That
take
would
it
be
with you.
great.
And just put all those times on.
Yeah.
So everybody
Okay.
knows, and you're gonna hang your banners the night
Okay.
Friday.
before.
Okay,
Put all that on, so we have that. and-
okay,
Well, and then knowing
And
the street closures, it helps our guys with barricades, putting
Okay.
out and
Yeah.
stuff like that,
We
so the
appreciate
route,
that so
yeah,
much.
yeah. Yeah.
And then the only other thing we did was, we just drove the golf carts, which people drive on there anyway, just to take some of our survivors that can't walk around the track. We just
Yeah.
drove them when they couldn't, and that's okay to do
Yes.
that? Okay,
Yeah,
Yes.
okay, because I think even somebody in town, a couple of them in town, loaned us theirs. It was just by chance they came through the park and they were, hey, do you need to use ours? So we used theirs, plus we brought some down, but I wanted to make sure that was gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we set up some tents, and that's okay still too? Okay,
And we've got it blocked.
Oh, I was gonna ask, do they use do you use the shelter house or anything?
yes, we do.
Okay,
We
so
do.
that's clear.
Yes, and I think she marked that down, but we do use
Yeah.
the shelter house. So,
Okay.
and we're gonna do everything this year. In the past, we used Holy Angels, which I'm a member of, but, I think we're gonna do our survivor dinner, lunch and everything at the park. You know, you build that nice other shelter house as well,
Yes,
and the Boy Scouts gave us a tent, they put the tent up for us to
Right.
use, which is so much nice as well, because if the weather would be kind of rainy or whatever, we have the shelter house plus the tent for the survivors, even though it's wonderful shaded with all your trees,
yeah,
it just helps that much more.
it's August, right?
And it's been great, they even allowed us to we use the restrooms, which you have, which are wonderful. Plus the Boy Scouts said, you know, if you need to use the stuff in there, which we didn't have to.
Yeah.
But, they were really good about that too. So,
Okay.
that's the only thing, we were just seeing if
Yeah.
you cared, if you could look at that and tell us yea or nay. And
Yeah.
if you don't need it, if we can't find out tonight, I don't know if it's okay or.
No, I
need
think
to
we
check
can, I
anything.
think we can,
I'll make, you
Make
wanna
a
make that motion?
Oh,
wanna
sure,
do
I'll make
that
that
one?
motion
It's in your
that
part.
we approve this application, for Relay, for Life.
for August 16th,
August 16th.
Saturday event in
Right.
Murphy Park, and then Friday setup. Yeah,
Friday
Friday,
evening setup.
Friday,
Okay.
Friday afternoon setup.
Okay.
Okay, my only question is,
Okay.
well, we have an emotion, you want a second? Anybody?
I will
wants to
second.
Go ahead and say, okay, we have a motion and a second, discuss, only, do we know, I don't know if we know if y'all paid for the
Shelter?
shelter house or not.
We didn't, but you know what,
Not
yet.
I was thinking about, we can pay. I don't
Well,
care.
I mean, I
Either
just
way.
wanted that to be part of
They
our
never
discussion,
said-
do we wanna,
but
we're
it
waiving the
doesn't matter
permit,
to
for
us.
sure, what do we need to do?
it, it's okay.
Well, we're not charging for a permit.
No,
Um,
y'all got in under the new rule on the permit?
Whatever you want, we are a nonprofit and we can give you that information if you need it. But we don't care to pay because you have been great for us, so it doesn't matter to me, whatever you want to do.
do we want to charge do we have a minimal
I don't even
fee
know how
for
much
the
it is.
shelter house?
What is it? Do you know?
It's $53.50.
Yeah, the Parks Board would like to waive it, that would be their decision, so.
No fee.
Why don't-
Okay, let's add that to your motion, if you want.
Yeah.
Well, do
Okay,
they need to do
Amended.
that, though?
no,
the Parks
no,
Board?
we've talked about it,
Oh, you already have?
yeah.
Okay.
I'd forgotten that. Jeannie's in the audience, thank goodness.
So,
Okay.
Give me some hand signals.
Okay,
You know,
add that to your
all right,
motion.
so, and we will waive the fee to use the shelter house
Thank
on
you so much.
Saturday.
Thank you, yes, you guys have been awesome for everything.
all right, so
It's a great
we had a
event.
motion and a second on that, and we amended that motion. Do we need to change it? Just, okay, just add that to the motion, the waiving of the fee for the shelter house, and there's no permit fee as well. So, any other questions?
Assuming there's no objection.
I'm assuming there's no objection, we're fixing to vote. Yeah, assuming there's no objection. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, all opposed. Thank you very
Thank
much,
you
ladies.
so
It's a
much for that. We
great,
appreciate
great,
all
well,
that help.
you bring a lot of people to town too. That's a great asset for all of it, though. That's a good
Well, they
thing.
like the ice cream and all the other stuff.
Yeah,
Very
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Plus the shops.
Good. Well, thank you all
Thank you
very much.
We
And
appreciate it.
just, if you have any questions or anything with the permit, just holler to Ann or any
I
of
gave
us.
them my
It'll be
email
fine.
address.
All right.
And hopefully the town marshal won't quit right before.
No, that's right. We didn't have a town marshal, but the county guys all showed up. Aaron, and he's one of our deputy marshals, so they all came that morning. I think DJ may have been there too or something. So, okay, thank you all very much. That's a
Thank
great
you.
service you do for such a great charity, for sure. All righty, let me flip it back over.
You don't
here.
have to stay.
Yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to pretend like you're having
It was
fun.
dark. No.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, next is Connie again on the comprehensive plan,
Yes.
final open house.
Yes,
stuff.
yes, so we're getting down to it on the comp plan. There will be an open house on March 19th from 4 to 7. It will feature kind of the final brush of the comprehensive plan, and also the parks plan will be featured then too. And I wanted to kind of go over again, just so everybody understands. There was to be steering committee and parks focus group tomorrow, but because of the weather, that has been changed to March 5th. That's probably going to be the last steering committee meeting. Then on March 19th, that is also the night of a plan commission meeting. We'll get public feedback on the parks plan, on the comp plan, and that'll be open to everybody. And so we'll put up flyers and try to put the word out to as many people as we can on that. Then there'll be a special plan commission hearing and vote. That will be on April 9th. Remember, the plan commission approves the comprehensive plan and recommends it to the town council. So that is all part of this step-by-step thing. That's going to be on April 9th. And if the plan commission passes it, they will certify it and send it to us, to the town council. on April 14th, the final 5-year parks plan will be submitted to Department of Natural Resources. And I am hoping that we will have our first reading of the comprehensive plan on April 15th, our April meeting. So that'll be the first reading. REA will be here to present it to us. And then in May, we'll have our second reading, and hopefully we'll adopt it in May. So if we don't like it, if this body doesn't like it, we would reject it and send it back to the Planning Commission for revising. And I hope that doesn't happen. But that's kind of how the legal steps go. So my goal is that by our May meeting, we have a comp plan. That's my goal.
Are any of these public meetings?
That open house.
The open house. So will this be published anywhere for the public or any of this schedule or I know all the public doesn't need the whole schedule, but.
Well, the community open house and these other things are going to be public meetings.
Yeah.
So this will be on the agenda for the Parks Board
Gotcha.
and the Town Board. It'll all be on there.
Gotcha.
Where is that April 14th meeting for the Parks Board? Where is it gonna be held?
The April 14th is submitting the plan to the DNR. You're talking about the 19th, the open house?
March 19th.
March 19th is the open house, and that is
Okay,
at Thrall's
I
Opera
just
House.
misheard you there, yeah,
Oh, okay,
Thralls.
sorry.
Okay.
so that's the place where everybody can come and look at, they'll have graphics and, stuff that shows like the top 3 things that we want to do, and, that'll be kind of the first look. I think it'll be good.
Good deal. Good deal. Sounds like we're getting there, right?
We're getting there, yeah. So, anyway, I just wanted to update everybody about that.
Thank you.
Yep,
And then
Connie, you
Oh.
can utilize the web page, if you want to put any updates on that.
okay. REA has a dedicated website for this plan. And so we can talk about that, how we can put some stuff on the town's website too. Okay, so the other thing is just an announcement and a reminder that the Indiana vector entomologist Doug Ginder is going to give a public lecture and talk and take questions from the public on Thursday, March 6th at 6:30 at the Working Men's Institute. And the tentative title of his talk is The Truth About Mosquitoes.
Look at everybody. Those girls will
See,
need to
I
come
think
to
it's
that
gonna
meeting. Be crowded, that's for sure. Okay.
So I just wanted to get that out.
Maybe we should put that in the paper or something. What do you think?
Yep, I think so. I hate to spend money, but yeah.
Well, I think it would be a good money spent there. Can you do that, Ann, get that put out?
We can talk
That's only a
about,
couple, 3 weeks, right?
Yeah,
Couple
yeah.
weeks. Okay. All right. I did have, I'm just gonna tell whoever, and I talked to Ann a little bit about it, and I know you're working on the website, is our minutes and stuff hadn't been on there for a little while.
I did it all today.
You got it all
I
squared away?
sent
Okay.
it all to her to get it updated.
Okay, good deal.
Great,
Good deal,
great.
good deal. All right, I think it was the minutes and what else was it? I forgot.
Fund report.
Fund
Fund
reports, yes,
reports, yeah.
exactly. Okay, thank you. All righty, next up, we have approval of the claims. Have a motion for approval of the claims?
I'll make that motion.
Have a motion, a second?
Okay, second.
Second, any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, we have a motion for adjournment.
I'll make that motion.
Motion, second?
Second.
We are adjourned.
Good.
Thank you all. Sean, you didn't have any complaints or anything, man? I'm gonna turn this off before I start running my big mouth.
Tree, John.
How do I turn it off?